This video is in association with MPEC vendors.
Welcome to the new episode of Can We Pay for Wedding Using Yu-Gi-Oh cards? We'll see. What is up, guys? It is Sunday, which means it is tournament day, and we are going down to Geek Retreat Kettering. We are filming at home at the moment. Then tried slightly different format this week to try to just mix up the videos a little bit. But before we can go, the best thing to do is always start the day with breakfast. So we are currently cooking pancakes. I say we, my partner's cooking pancakes. And American style pancakes and bacon for breakfast. Start us off right, and then we can go down and hopefully get a 3-1 or an undefeated record today. Corey's here this week as well, rocking the Sword Soul deck as always. Corey, what record do you want to get to this week?
I'll take 2-2 on a 4-3 on a 5.
Okay, so 3-2 or 2-2.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's going to play the average. We want to go on a positive record, so 3-2, 3-1 or better would be amazing today. But first of all, let's get breakfast eaten and we will see you guys at Geek Retreat. Here we are at Geek Retreat, ready for the day. People are just coming in. There's Dan, the owner there. We are all getting ready for a full day of Yugioh. There's more people to come. We're a bit early. Yes! Tournament doesn't start for another half hour, so we'll just open some packs and see what we all get. So that's locals over with, and did all right, but we'll go home, discuss what happened, show you what I pulled from my packs. I wasn't able to get an OTS pack this week. We had 26 players turn up. That's mental. As such, the store owner Dan was a little light on the OTS packs, so we've held off and we'll get ours next week instead. So I'm more than happy with that. But yeah, we'll head home, we'll sort out the deck, and we will go over what we did and show you some gameplay footage. But I will catch you guys then. Okay, so here Dan won the dice roll and chose to go first. He actually bricked, so he ended up just setting 3 and passing here. So here we normal summon the Mirror Sword Knight and activate the effect. This allows us to spec either the Berthamet or the Gazelle from deck. Here I believe it was the Gazelle. I do apologise, the glare is really bad. But yeah, so we spec the Gazelle. We then activate the Chimera Fusion, which we search because we already had the Big Wing Berthamet in hand going into the Chimera Fusion. Here we have a little chain. Big Wing will spec back the Mirror Sword. Gazelle will add an illusion and Chimera will rip one. Dan activates the call by targeting the Mirror Sword Knight. So therefore, we no longer get the special summon back, but it doesn't matter. We search here the Nightmare Apprentice, and then we go ahead and activate the Apprentice, ditching a Forbidden Droplet, which we did have a duplicate. And then the Apprentice will go ahead and activate here, allowing us to grab a illusion monster. So we ditch the Kotal. The Kotal then searches us a Gazelle. We activate the Chimera Fusion to add it back. We activate the Chimera Fusion, fusing off the Gazelle and the Mirror Sword Knight in hand to go into the Berthamet Fusion to foolish a Beast Fiend or Illusion Monster. And we foolish the Tau, which then triggers to spec back the Mirror Sword Knight. So we've cycled through quite nicely, and then boom, Super Poly fuses up both of our fusion monsters, because at the end of the day they're both wind with different types, so therefore perfect for my dragon. But Dan top decks here because there's no point attacking with the Magician because it can't attack, sorry, the Apprentice because it can't destroy anything. We get the hand rip. He top decks absolutely nothing and scoops it up. So there you just saw round 1 against Dan. That was only game 1 because I'm trying a different format. We did take him down on the next turn. Like I say, he scooped it up and we moved into game 2. Game 2 wasn't too different. Dan didn't have the best opening hand. He did choose to go first, and this time did manage to put up some board. However, we was very able to crack it. He was playing under Shifter. He activated Shifter, and the Shifter kind of hindered his plays a little bit as well there. He didn't have the most optimal hand to try and play through the Shifter, and neither did we. We didn't really do much. We was able to go into the Berthamet fusion, the 2400. He had a 2400 Unchained link. I decided to crush them, take them both out. In my hand I had the Gazelle and he had nothing. His field was empty, my field was empty. I had Gazelle in hand, he had nothing. So he was in a top deck situation, so he literally just had to set one pass, which was a monster in defense mode. I top decked, didn't get anything useful. I can't remember what I top decked now off the top of my head, but a normal summon the Gazelle activated to grab the Chimera Fusion. I could have added the Big Wing Birthday, but I decided I would have most probably drew a monster to fuse with quicker than what I would have drew a fusion spell card. So we normal summoned the Gazelle, I punched into his defense monster and it was a ghost spell. So I take 300 damage, pass turn. His turn, he manages to summon another monster, links him off into a link 2. I believe he went into SP there because it wasn't made with a link monster. He didn't get the on-field banish, so he just punched over the Gazelle, and then he made a Typhoon. No, sorry, he didn't go SP, he did Sandcastle, I can't remember, but he went into the Typhoon. I managed to get Guardian Chimera on the field. He went to activate the Typhoon to bounce the Guardian Chimera, and I activated my Super Poly at this point, this was a couple of turns later, and sucked up both the Typhoon and the Guardian Chimera into the Chimera Fusion, and he just extended the handshake and scooped it up there. So we went 2-0 against Dan. Absolutely brilliant, starting the day off strong, and again, playing against Dan is always fun. He's an amazing guy and absolutely superb. Moving into round 2, again, I have recorded it, I've got the full game footage, I might upload the full game. I was against Neo. For those of you who don't know, Neo is my Mount Olympus. I've never beat Neo. Admittedly, I've only played him twice up until today. He goes to uni, so he's not here often. But he is down for summer break or whatever, and then yeah, he's on Tenpai Dragon Link. I don't know if the Tenpai stuff's still there, but definitely Dragon Link stuff's there, and he absolutely clapped me up 2-0. So yeah, it was a 5-round stay and we are sitting 1-1, so my goal for today was to go 3-2, so let's see how we do. And I do have a clip of game 3 coming up here now. So this is round 3, and I'll see you after. So I've had to retroactively record this bit. I do not have a clip for game 3. I was against Callum. As you know, Callum is one of our better players. Absolutely love the guy to pieces. I have a lot of respect and a lot of time for Callum. And I took the win, but it wasn't without its own caveat here. So game 1 took nearly 30-35 minutes. He established his board, I was able to make some plays. I actually won the dice roll, so I went first. I established my board. I was able to interrupt him, I was able to Super Poly, I was able to do this, I was able to do that. We really went through the ringer, went through the dancers, and he was on Voiceless Voice, which is a deck I really struggle against. I do not know what the cards do. And he took game 1, so I'm like I said, this is a new video format I'm trying, so I didn't really want to upload a 30 odd minute, or even if I halved it down to a 15-minute game clip into this, because the timeline of this video then would have been too long for what I was trying to go for. Game 2, I went first, I set up my board. Callum looked at his hand, he looked at the board and just went, no, I'm not going to waste the time, let's move to game 3. Game 3, when we started siding and shuffling, we had about 14 minutes left on the clock. Callum went first, he did what he did, I was able to interrupt him a little bit, I then did what I needed to do. I got into the Illusion Chaos Beast, or whatever it's called, the 3100 one. I punched into one of his School Guardians, I took 1000 damage, but it negated and then zeroed it, and then I could make a second attack, so I punched over it again for 3100. It was Callum's turn. Again, I managed to do some interruptions and really slow him down. He was able to obviously still established. Poked me for a little bit more damage there. I was still sitting pretty by about 1500 life points ish, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. Got to my turn. There's literally about 2 minutes left on the clock when it hit my turn, and when I tell you I played as quick as I could, honestly the only way I could have played quicker is if I just passed. On my turn I activated hardly anything. I summoned the Nightmare Apprentice. I didn't even activate its effect, just because I wanted to try and get through my turn as quick as I can to pass back to Callum so he had the opportunity to take a turn. Unfortunately, by the time I had done what I could do, even the speed I was going at, there wasn't long left. When I passed over to Callum, there's only about 20 to 30 seconds left on the clock. So draw phase, standby phase, main phase, and time was called in main. It is unfortunate. Time limit wins always feel janky to me. Same with time limit losses, because it's one of those things where, like, if we had another 10 minutes or even another 5 minutes, I bet maybe I would have lost that. Like, don't get me wrong, I had a decent established board, but his board was building very quickly. And honestly, I feel like he would have overtaken and just ended up cleaning that game up. So even though I got the win on paper, it doesn't feel like a real victory there. But that being said, we do have a clip of round 4, so I'm going to jump into that clip. Okay, so this is round 4 against Solomon. Solomon is, like I said previously in many videos, one of our better, if not top players we have. I have a lot of time and respect for Solomon as a player and a person, but we are going first, and we normal summon that Mirror Sword Knight and activate the effect to tribute the cost to spec out the Big Wing Berthamet. Berthamet activates here, getting us the Gazelle and the Chimera Fusion, which now we go ahead and activate. Don't know what I'm thinking here. What am I taking my time for? Yep, we activate the Chimera Fusion. We send the Gazelle in hand and the Edge Imp Chain from hand as well to go into the Chimera. So now we've got the Chain Link. We grab the Fight Fur Patchwork. We grab the Nightmare Apprentice. We activate the Patchwork to get us a copy of Edge Imp and Polymerization. So here now we go ahead and activate the Polymerization, fusing off the Deer Bells that we already had in hand, along with the Big Wing Berthamet, to go into the Berthamet Fusion monster. And now Big Wing will target the Deer Bells as Chain Link 1. Do apologise about the background noise. And then we go into the and then send the Tau as Chain Link 2. So we spec back the Deer Bells, and then the Tau will activate, targeting the Mirror Sword Knight to then spec that back. We then discard the Edge Imp to spec out the the Nightmare Apprentice, which searches the Kotal. The Kotal discards to add us, I believe I grabbed us a copy of Mirror Sword Knight for follow-up, and we set 2. Now, one of the cards I set was a Triple Tactics Talent, and the idea there was to pop it, but he goes ahead and activates Nibiru at the end of our main phase. We calculate, and this is a fat rock. Like, it's got I think it was like over 10,000 attack and nearly 7,000 defense. It was a huge rock. But because a card was activated at the end of our main phase, we do have the option to stay in our main phase, which I choose to do, and activate that Triple Tactics, which I set to not draw 2, but to send the card from his hand. Because the way I see it is, here I'm going to rip a card from his hand. He's already activated Nibiru, and boom, like that, he's in a top deck and he scoops it up. So there you saw I took round 1 against Solomon on Yugioh. I just wanted to show that clip in particular because it's important to know your main phases, to put it simply. So if your opponent activates something at the end of your main phase, you do not then have to proceed to leave it. I know some of the newer or lesser inexperienced players think, oh, well, I'm at the end, so I have to proceed. You don't. A card activates in the main phase, you get to stay in the main phase and activate cards, just like I did there with the Triple Tactics Talent. Now, a lot of people would have also drew to try and get that hand recursion. However, with the Chimera deck, you already have it. During my opponent's turn, I could have banished the Chimera Fusion from grave to spec back Beast Fiend or Illusion, such as the Big Wing Berthomet, which would then add me a Chimera Fusion along with the level 4 Beast and put a body on board with the other face down set card I had, which was the Chimera Fusion, and I still had a monster in hand, so therefore I could have had a pop 1, draw 2 from a Guardian Chimera if required. And then because then the Chimera would have been banished, I could have triggered the Berthomet Fusion, banishing itself to spec back the Chimera Fusion monster. So I already had that recursion in play, so there was no point for the draw 2. Now, if I was running hand traps, then potentially that would have been better, but I was not running hand traps this week, so I've opted to go for more interruption plays rather than hand traps. And honestly, it worked just alright. Worked as well as what the hand trap build did. But I knew, obviously I didn't know what Solomon was on at that point, so I wanted to get that idea of what I was up against so I could try and gauge what I needed to negate, what I needed to bait. So I went for the shuffle a card back in from my opponent's hand, not only to give me that sort of knowledge of what I was looking at, but also then limiting his hand size down by another one. So the triple tactic shuffle one, then the Chimera Fusion ripped one, and as you saw, he was left with 2 cards in hand at that stage, and then the top deck just wasn't enough for him to play, so he scooped it up and moved to game 2. Solomon, being a very experienced and very well known player as well, he actually, I believe he got top 32 at the Nationals last weekend. Definitely got top 64. I think he won his top 64 match and then lost his top 32 match. I think, don't quote me, but I think that's how it was. New to scoop there. Some players might have tried to play it out. However, it's a waste of time. He knew that the recursion of my deck was there to out-resource what he had, so he didn't waste his time. And he definitely made the right call, because then he went on and won game 2 and 3. Game 2 he took very, very convincingly, literally no time at all. And then game 3 I put up a little bit of a fight, but he just broke my board and just killed me. So I lost to Solomon 2-1 in the end, and at this point we're moving into round 5 on a 2-2 record. Again, round 5 as against Mark. Again, I love Mark. There's so many great people at our locals. Honestly, I feel truly blessed with how many people not only are good people, but people I actually get on with as well, because you can be a good person and you may still not get on with people. But honestly, these guys here are some of the best people I know, to put it simply. And Mark definitely embodies that. He is one of the most kindest, sweetest people you'll ever meet in your life. And he was on Testina. I've actually uploaded one of our rounds over on TikTok, so for, you know, shameless plug, go check out my TikTok, same name, Mystic Frost 86. I do put some game profiles up there and some deck profiles and a local report, which is essentially what this is, but in more snippets. But yeah, so the gameplay's over there. If you want to go see that, go over there and watch that, but only after you finish watching this video. We ended up taking that game 2-0. However, it came very close. Could have easily become a draw. With game 2, was it 2-0 or was it 2-1? May have been 2-1 actually. Don't quote me on that. No, it was 2-0, but it was running low on time. It was 2-0, but it was running low on time. Because it came down to a top deck situation for Mark, and he needed a top deck sank, and he didn't get what he needed, so he extended the handshake, and we skipped it up from there. So, yeah, like I said, we ended the day 3-2. So we had a positive record, the lowest positive record we could have, but still a positive record. And I was very excited about that. we are improving our gameplay, and our skill level is slowly getting there. Yeah, but we can only get better, as the saying goes. Things can only go up. Speaking of going up, we picked up some cards this weekend, so I'm going to show you what we picked up as well. Don't know if I'm just going to hold them up here or if I'm going to flip them over and flip the camera. I think I'll just hold them up here, it'll be easier. So I bought actually no, I'm going to flip the camera view. So here you go. Okay, so these are all the cards we picked up. This isn't including pricing. Pricing, we didn't actually pack that well. I didn't get my OTS pack, as I said earlier. I will get that next week. But from David, who is part of MPEC Vendors, he did me a good deal. I bought some cards off him for £9 all in all. So I'll show you what I bought, which is, first of all, the Secret Rare Branded Fusion. Now, I do want a playset of Secret Rares. I do have one Ultimate and 2 Supers. So, for people who know me, knows that Secret Rare is my favourite rarity. But it does then beg the question, what do I do with my Ultimate? Because I've ordered the other 2 secrets, they are on their way. Let's zoom in a little bit so you can see this better. There we go. Do I keep the Ultimate and plan to upgrade the other 2 into Ultimates eventually? Or do I just sell the Ultimate and cash in and put that money towards the Fiendsmith / Whitewood stuff that's coming out next month? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Keep it or try and flip it? From the same purchase, we got the Ace Spades Speculation. Now, I have no idea what I'm going to actually use this card for. I just know that I really, really like the artwork, so I wanted it. The End of Anubis got an upgrade to a Secret Rare. Yes, there was already a secret printing, but now we have the Secret Rare. We didn't. We only had an Ultra. I got a play set of the Secret Rare Tri-Brigade Merrycower. Initially, I wasn't that fussed about this card's upgradedness, but then I saw the secret foil on it, and it looks very much like a Speed Duel secret. For those of you who know me and who have followed this channel and follow my TikTok, knows I absolutely love that Speed Duel foiling. And then the 2 that actually made it the price it was, I picked up 2 copies of Archfiend's Advent. As you know, I do play Shining Sarcophagus. I have put it on the back burner for now until the Ebon Illusion Magician, the Ebon Dark Magician, whatever that card's called, comes out in July. But I wanted to pick up an Archfiend's Advent. I think it's only a one-off, but just in case I ever wanted to play 2, that I decided to get the second one. So I got all of those for £9 off David. And then from my son Corey, who you saw earlier, we did a little trade. I don't know why I wanted this stuff, I just did. But I wanted his 3 copies of Predator Practice, his ultra rare Predator Plant, I can't even pronounce that. This one, which isn't RAM, but just, you know, because it's there. And then a copy of Grand Guganol. I am slowly going to collect the branded cards. I don't know if I'll ever play branded, but may as well have them. And then lastly, I did a trade at Locals with Dan. One of the cards I traded for was for Corey's Dark World deck, so I've given him that. But the cards I picked up off Dan was Supreme King Zark Synchro Universe. Again, I absolutely love the Pendulums archetype. I love the Zark archetype. So that was one I was missing, so nice to pick that up. We then picked up the Keldo and the Medora. And then we have picked up Shivan, Havnis, Merly, and then the Rukalos as well. I did see a janky build online of Tilament Chimera, and we all know if I see a Chimera build, I've got to try it at least once. So if I can collect the Tilament cards, we will give that build a try. But with all that being said, that is the end of another week of Can We Pay for a Wedding with Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So as you know, the wedding has been paid for. We've still got a few things to pick up, such as our rings. Emily now has her dress, which is brilliant. So we've still got the rings to get, we've still got to pay off some of the DJ. So the money all goes towards that sort of stuff. Follow MPEG vendors over on Instagram. There isn't a lot out there. I haven't really had the time or the opportunity to get the Instagram page off running yet, but your support there would mean everything to me. So please go follow that page and we will get that sorted. And also check out my eBay, same name, Mystic Frost 86. This is where I am listing a lot of the cards MPEG have for sale, and for my own personal collection. Anything I sell for MPEG, I get to keep 30% of the bottom line to go towards the wedding. Anything from my personal collection, obviously I keep it all. So if you are interested in buying any of the cards from me, you can either purchase it through eBay, or if you want to dodge the eBay fees, because we do know the fees do hike up that price a little bit, you can message me through MPEG vendors on Instagram. I will tag them in this video. I will tag the Instagram in this video, and you can message me through there, tell me what cards you're interested in, and we can work out a deal. Because if you're buying multiple cards, you will get them cheaper. It's that simple. But nothing else to add to that at this stage. So if you like this video, if you like the new format that I'm trying, please do let me know. I'm also going to try and get some more B-roll footage of general gameplay and just around the shop next week, hopefully. I have put a message out in the Discord to make sure that everyone is comfortable with that, because as always, their right to be comfortable while playing a game they're paying for takes precedent over my right to film. If they're not comfortable, I will not do it. It's that simple. So hopefully they are, though. Who knows? But we'll see next week. So let me know if you do like this new format, and obviously give the video a like, comment, share. Let's try and build a community here, and I will see you guys next week. Peace.